How do we know that there weren't wars? This is so long ago.
But King Solomon kept one of the best, stories of humankind alive during that time.
I'm sure he did, but what year was this?
I'd be inaccurate if I said it precisely, but I think King David would have been about 2,400 years ago, so somewhere in that range.
What is the odds that he knows what's going on in China? 0. 2,400 years ago? There's no 5G. You're not going on Twitter and finding out what's happening in China. There's no way he could know if there's war somewhere else.
There was a technology beyond all of that sitting on the planet at that time.
What was that?
Pyramids.
Hold on. So you think that they use the pyramids to find out if there's war in China?
I think that we had a technology called a human body at the time that was fully used, and we were fully telepathic. Maybe not this recent, but certainly further back, 10,000, 12,000 years ago, we were communicating much differently.
Do you think people have an innate telepathic ability that's kind of muted a little bit by language and by talking in media? And then if we went back to the earliest stages of intelligence, we kind of read each other's minds. And then we realized that's kind of messy. Wouldn't it be better if we just talked? I'll just tell you what I think. I don't want to let you in.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and then we wrote things down. So when you write things down, you could read other people's thoughts. But before words, I bet we didn't think in those terms. I bet we thought in terms of what is that? There's a tree, there's a person, there's a deer. This is how we have to do this. Without words, there's probably an understanding of like what we're saying and feeling. That's probably what we lost. That's probably why you get weird feelings from certain people. You're like, I don't know about this guy. You're feeling something. There's something there. You just don't know how to measure it.
I think you are spot on. You could have written my book for me. So there's a whole chapter in this
book. That's definitely not true.
There's a whole chapter in there that gives an 80,000 year look at human communication from this point of wide open frequency bandwidth of telepathic communication down to text messages. And so there's a linear decline that happens through these different steps to the more and more abstract ways of communicating. And when we stopped feeling each other and we started, like you say, you begin with tonal language before there's words. You start to create tones that are representative, but you're still giving a full sense. This is like me singing an opera to you instead of like giving you a speech. Mm-hmm. And so tonal language was giving us a full body experience where you're listening beyond your auditory space. The spoken word was where we suddenly went straight to the mind. We were no longer using the technology of the human body, and I was just going to speak. And this improved efficiency very quickly. So this was the beginning of machine-like behavior, where we could stop feeling the body and we could start mentally processing information. The brain jumped in size, and we started going through all of this iterations of efficiency and optimization maybe is the way in which we create empire. We create more control, more wealth, whatever we were doing at the time. But there was these advantages that looked good as we went from tonal to spoken word, from spoken word to written word, from written word to digital representations of words down to emojis.
Yeah, Jamie thinks